My name is Joel Chasha. Today we focus on matters state of the economy, but that is from the top of the hour, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Right now, we're still on the newspaper review once again on the People Daily, inside night meetings to impeach Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, the Standard, staring at an impeachment drawing near, even as the Daily Nation highlights on Ruto's allies to reap billions in UHC deal. In studio, once again, I'm joined by Honorable David Sankok. He is the Member of Parliament, Yala. Ruth Kinyanjui, an economist, and set to join us shortly will be Honorable Fred Ikana, who's the Shinalu Member of Parliament. And now back to you, Honorable Sankok.
I think we should not...
on the impeachment motion that will be tabled today, are we having our timings wrong?
I don't think we should dwell on this one. I think I want even to meet the management of K24. Joel, you seem to be underage or a Gen Z, and that is why you are dealing with this issue of impeachment. So I think we should not dwell on this one, but because us here, unless Honorable come, we don't have any say. Personally, I'm a Member of Parliament, East African Legislative Assembly. I will not table this motion. I will not vote against or vote for, because I don't have that power. Whatever that is given, the mandate is Parliament, and they should be the ones to discuss this motion. The most important thing is respect.
You are a member of the UDA party.
Is respect. That we respect authority. The Deputy President should respect the President. And other leaders below the Deputy President should respect both the President and the Deputy President. These are the people who are elected together in a ballot box, together. And William Ruto proposed Rigathi Gachagua. If Kenyans had a problem with Rigathi Gachagua, they should have rejected them on the ballot box. Probably Raila Odinga was rejected because of the choice of the running mate. Therefore, I think we should respect both of them. We should also know that we have leadership everywhere, in our own families. Even you here in K24, you have leadership, you have authority, and you have to respect. The members of Parliament must respect their majority leader, together with their minority leader and the Speaker. And if the majority leader and the Speaker of the National Assembly expect to be respected, they also ought to respect those who are a little bit above them. So respect is very important, because civil wars started in other countries because of such shenanigans, where everybody feel that they can now abuse whoever they want, they can demean whoever they want. If God gave you an authority and God gave you a position of leadership, go together with the Kenyans. Even if somebody hates you, let them respect that office. That office.
So yes. You're arguing that it's time maybe the MPs should shelve the impeachment motion?
I'm not saying that, because I will not shelve, I will not table, so I have no say.
You're a member of the UDA party?
I'm a member of the UDA
and
party.
And the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is also your deputy party leader.
But,
so it concerns you directly, Mheshimiwa.
National Assembly is not UDA. National Assembly is a third arm of government. I'm also in another arm of government of the East African Community Economic Bloc. So ask me about what we are doing there.
So what became of your party leader's promise that he will not be after his deputy politically?
When did you promise that?
It's on record, Mheshimiwa.
Which record? Or maybe you have it and I don't have it.
Ruth, on the promises being made, and according to the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, one that will not require IMF or World Bank or any financial input will be this one, on the president respecting his deputy, or at least protecting him from those who do not respect the deputy president. Going by the virtue that, first of all, the president has not clapped or has not actually slammed those who are after impeaching Gachagua, that of course will not be, or will be considered not fulfilling the promise. Economically, are we likely also now to not fulfill the promises that were made by this government?
I'm looking at that, listening to you, I'm looking at that like before they came together, they had agreements. What are those agreements? What did those agreements say in terms of what is respect or what should we abide in? What constitution or what kind of a standard are they abiding in their party in UDA? And why are Kenyans becoming part of it? Why should we become part of it? I'm just trying to ask myself a question, and you should tell me that, especially whether that is mirroring to economy. I think we should be hearing from the National Assembly is regarding the main problem or the main issue with maybe some of the stalled project, why maybe Finance Bill 2024 failed, is regarding the main issue why Finance Bill 2023 failed, is regarding the problem that or brought in Andani, is regarding these are some of the issues that us in public, people in public should be hearing, you know, and they should be dealing with the things that are of inside. But you see, when statements are said by those ones in the sidelines of a camp, then it becomes really, really difficult, and it seems like the president, of course, is backing it because he's, of course, silent. I really want to touch on a very contentious issues. When the president, especially President Ruto, has been silent previously, it has caused this country big damages, both economically, socially, and even from a division perspective. And he should remember some of those areas that he kept quiet when he should not be keeping quiet. And this is not also the time that he should be keeping quiet. Let him come forward and say that some of the economic turmoils we are experiencing is because the deputy president was given work and they did not perform. You know,
so those will form good grounds at least for his
those
impeachment.
Are even from a common Mwananchi perspective, we are going to all to be supporting. But right now, we cannot be seen to be Mwananchi is being trolled to an inside battle. This is very inside because it's between them and what they agreed or the perception, or more so what I want to. It is also seen like I want to cut you out of this so that I can be able to do this. When it's seen like that, believe you me, Kenyans will take their side and it will divide this country. Ground is. I want to also remind the president of this country to listen to the ground. Right now, it's not when that ground should be ignored. For economic, Kenyans, remember Kenyans are already angry. I don't think Kenyans are happy. The economic times, besides this being a very good year, 2024, we have seen inflation is not so high. Things are really moderate, but still Kenyans are struggling. Can some of these struggles, can also some of the answers that are hard, like yesterday I was hearing people discussing the new SHIF and NHIF. What was the problem with NHIF? What could not be amended to deal with some of the contentious issues? If some of these big questions are not being answered, then we are bringing or pulling Kenyans to more political problem. I don't think it's going to go very... Kenyans are not ready for this. Kenyans want to work and recover what they have lost in the last 2 years.
You had asked me about...
and I know Honorable Sankuki are keen to not engage in this topic further.
Yes,
but
do you feel...
If Gachagua is impeached today, it will affect Ruto's re-election bid come 2027.
You had first of all asked me about if Ruto had promised, and I'd check on my phone, and I've seen something on record about Ruto promising that he will not demean his deputy or allow his deputy to be demeaned. But remember also God promised Moses that he will go to the promised land. But in between, he broke the promise, and Moses never stepped his foot on Canaan, on the promised land. So promises can be broken from God or anybody else.
But the precedents that the president is setting in terms of trust,
don't worry about breaking.
Is it not eroding his trust, especially the other time, let's say for instance, the matter on the Ford Foundation? Is he a master of double speak?
Joel, did it erode your trust that God broke his promise on Moses, leading Israelites into the promised land, on which Moses never stepped his foot on the promised land? Promises can be broken. And if they can be broken by God...
a quick rejoinder here.
Actually, you know what he's saying about promises? Manifestos are promises, which Kenyans were promised. Just 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks ago, Joel, we were looking at the president performance for the last 2 weeks, for the last 2 years.
And it was superb.
Yes. You know.
It was the best. The performance was good.
The performance was not good.
No, he's the best president. He has performed very well.
No, wait.
Where did you get the data? Because according to the data I have.
Let me tell you, according to, that is the data you have, because you can gauge it in the eyes that you have.
Can we go international?
Let me tell you, Chacha, I read word to word the manifesto of UDA for 2020, the one that they gave us in 2022. Let me tell you, Hustler Fund, 19 billions have been stolen. That thing is as dead as dead.
Is the Ruto the one stealing or Kenyan stealing?
But you see,
but the promise was that we will give you Hustler Fund.
Why can't we put a proper process? Why should we launch something that cannot be able to be accountable? What kind of project are we launching?
Who are we blaming? Is it the thieves?
No.
Or the one who promised and delivered?
They're not properly thought about.
No, so Mheshimiwa here is trying to justify that President Ruto breaking the promises is equal to
before
Mheshimiwa.
No, I have said Ruto have not broken the promises because he promised us Hustler Fund. Now there are some thieves outside there who have stolen the Hustler Fund. So are we blaming the one who promised and delivered, or we are blaming those who are thieves?
It's a very controversial
How do we know in the absence of proper systems and processes? How do we know who stole the money? It's not the Kenyans. Kenyans are very good people. They are law abiding.
I'm not saying the Kenyans. I know there must be people who have stolen.
What I want to remind Mheshimiwa, let me remind Mheshimiwa. Mheshimiwa, I want to take you to 3 years ago during BBI. Was it 3 years or 4 years ago during BBI?
I was there.
You were there, isn't it? I saw you with a green suit.
Yes. Nowadays I'm in ESC colors. So ask me the geopolitics. I'm nowadays the global geopolitician. So this issue of siasa ya kijiji.
But it begins home.
Let me go back to the issue of BBI. So when we went to Bomas of Kenya, and there was BBI, the reason, the president should remember, the reason why Kenyans went and stuck with him is because of the humiliation he went through during BBI.
By the way, you are also in blue.
Yes, you see now
let's go to
we are
geopolitics.
You know, we are in East Africa community. But let me finish, Chacha. During the BBI time, you remember, the president was really humiliated. The thing that made Kenya decide to vote for President Ruto is what he endured that day at the BBI. So in this case,
he could be giving Gachagua the sympathy votes.
Before we go to the sympathy vote, I remember when Murkomen spoke during that meeting, he almost cried. Kenyans almost actually cried with him. You understand? And that is a decision point that Kenyans decided they're going to vote for President Kibaki, for President Ruto. Whoever, by that time, by the time we were deciding to choose him, as people were deciding in their heart, he had not brought Rigathi. Actually, even the decision, the smoke that went to Deputy President resident by the time they were choosing Rigathi, people had thought it's going to be Kindiki. What is this thing that ensured that Rigathi came in? Those are the things that they should go back to. And also, those are the issues of their house. How come now they are dragging mud out for us as Kenyans?
Rigathi Gachagua did not bring Mount Kenya votes to William Ruto because already during BBI, Kenyans had already decided
by the time they were just Ruto. By the time Rigathi was being chosen, he was being chosen as the right vehicle to ensure that he brings the vote.
Yes, let us go.
Antagonizing the deputy president, will it affect the 2027 re-election bid? And we've seen also a split, especially for the leaders from the Rift Valley region who have been meeting. Others believe it is not even fair, you know, to purge out Gachagua.
In fact,
also, could it be because now Raila Odinga is more of inclined to the government because of his AUC bid? And what happens when Odinga fails to clinch that position? Could he come back to the country and maybe even team up with Gachagua? And 2027 could be a very, very tough moment for President Ruto.
In fact, we are not seeing. In Maasai, we say the wounded lion in the bush is more dangerous, the one that you are not seeing, than this one that you are seeing.
So who is wounded?
The re-election of William Ruto in 2027 is not threatened by those he sees around him. It is threatened by my candidate in the AUC chairmanship, and that is Raila Odinga. William Ruto have wounded Raila Odinga a record 4 times. In 2013, when he campaigned for Uhuru Kenyatta, even in 2002, when they actually decided that Uhuru Kenyatta will be the project of Moi. In 2013, when he campaigned for Uhuru Kenyatta, in 2017, when he campaigned for Uhuru Kenyatta, and 2022, when he campaigned for himself, are all against Raila Odinga. So, if Raila come and decide to run in 2027, and he decide that the running mate, of course, William Ruto cannot come down to be a running mate. So, the options, Rigathi have an upper hand.
So Rigathi could join Raila?
And if he join, it's a done deal.
They will win?
Hi, very early in the morning.
So it's either President Ruto ensures Raila Odinga clinches the AUC position.
That is why we are working very hard. And we are not working very hard because of anything, but because Raila Odinga is the most qualified candidate. Now that we are coming to that, Raila Odinga is the most qualified candidate for AUC seat, African Union. In fact, he will not only be the chairman, he will be like the president of the United States of Africa. And Raila Odinga is very qualified because he have experience. Raila Odinga have been the longest serving president of Kenya, whether you call him the people president or whatever you call him, because he had served with Moi through NDP KANU merger. Moi came and went, left him still leading half of Kenya. He teamed up with Mwai Kibaki as a co-principal, as a prime minister. They ran the government together. Kibaki came and went and left Raila Odinga still leading half of Kenya. He also joined hands with Uhuru Kenyatta through the handshake. They led Kenya together. Uhuru came and went and still left Raila Odinga still leading half of Kenyans because he have always been getting half of the votes. And then now, William Ruto is still leading with Raila Odinga. Remember, Raila Odinga is the one in charge of treasury. So literally, yeye ndiye anashikilia munyonyi ya serikali ya ile ya pesa. So Raila Odinga have been serving with all these people, so he's the longest serving, so experience.
Others could look at this, that it's because Raila Odinga came on board, and that's why perhaps the president feels there is no need to have Gachagua on board, or president allies.
I'm giving you experience of Raila Odinga.
But it could be a political
I'm giving you experience of and qualification of Raila Odinga to the African Union Commission. No, let me finish. Now, Raila Odinga again is a peacemaker. So, because Africa, we are faced with a lot of conflicts, including the conflict in Somalia, conflict in DRC and other, Boko Haram and others. So, Raila Odinga can make peace with anybody and anywhere. If Moi jailed Raila Odinga for 9 years, they made peace. If Uhuru Kenyatta abused Raila Odinga, mwingine muganga, mwingine mlevi, and they made peace, Raila Odinga can make peace with anybody. Kama walipigana na William
So
Ruto.
you are warning this morning that if Gachagua is purged out and at some point Odinga fails to clinch the AUC position and they team up, it will be the biggest political threat for Ruto come to 2027.
Why are you saying he failed? He will win the African Union Commission. I've just told him, told you all his qualification. His qualification is leading. Kama alitegua hii mitego ya Gachagua, si atategua Boko Haram na hii mitego ya Al-Shabaab. So Raila Odinga is the most qualified and he will win. He will have a clear win in the African Union Commission, and actually literally will be the president of the United States of Africa.
And now we are joined by Honorable Freddy Kana, who is the Shinyalu Member of Parliament. Thank you so much for creating time this morning, although you are late.
Thank you for your vote. He voted for me.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate. Yeah, I had to attend to urgent emerging issues that were affecting my constituents this morning.
Well,
but I'm grateful to God that He has enabled us to come here this morning. Congratulations to my friend. He is a very good friend of mine. I voted for him last election.
Yes.
To Iyala, as he has mentioned, and I'm happy with the advocacy that he is doing in the East African front.
And quickly, we are focusing on the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment motion that could be tabled in Parliament today. You're a member of the Kenya Kwanza government.
Yes.
Also a member of the National Assembly, which the motion could be tabled. First of all, have you appended your signature to the motion that it's believed so far it has over 118 or 16 members who have appended their signatures? And will you support such a motion?
Thank you so much for the question, and I want to categorically state that as one of the believers in the Kenya Kwanza manifesto that envisages a nation that is united, a nation that is progressive and aligned to the wishes of the people. I will support anything that takes us towards that direction. We have been seeing the kind of politics that are being played by our current deputy president, and most Kenyans will confirm that they are very, very divisive politics that are bordering on sectarianism and regionalism, which is offensive even to the core facets of our constitution. So if there's anything that we can do now to cure this country from this kind of divisive politics, I want to categorically state that I'm in full support of that kind of a move that will ensure that we move together as a country that is cohesive, one mind, one plan towards ensuring that each and every corner of this country remains cohesive and developed.
So in your opinion, because I understand you are under Musalia Mudavadi's party, or now former party, ANC, would you vouch for Musalia Mudavadi to take over as the deputy president, or Kindiki in this case, who has been also fronted?
I think this kind of conversation is jumping the gun. What is important is,
because even as you remove, you need to have a better, you know, someone in mind who will,
as a country,
replace.
As a country, what is important is what do we need to do to ensure that the interests of all Kenyans are catered in terms of development. And now the issue that we're dealing with is how do we ensure that the kind of divisive politics, the kind of rhetoric that we have been seeing in the media and in the public space is fully halted. So we will get to that kind of conversation on who will be most qualified and who will be most suitable to take over as the president's principal assistant once we are done away with the current issue that we are facing as a country.
So the impeachment motion will be tabled today?
If it's brought to the House, we are going to deal with it.
Ruth, even as you're about to take a short commercial break, the Mrima has been touched. Is it because perhaps Raila Odinga is on board with the broad-based government, and so perhaps President Ruto feels he no longer needs the mountain? You come from the mountain. What is the ground saying?
You know what is happening with Chacha? He's forgetting I'm an economist and putting me in between two very powerful politicians. You can see by the time they are talking, they are avoiding there. And I'm not here actually to speak categorically for the Murema people. But
you are a
I'm
voter.
talking for one, yeah, I'm a voter. But I'm talking about one thing that he has mentioned, but in a different way. The unity of this country remains the stability, the main stabilizer for the economy of this country. So one of the questions that I was asking Mheshimiwa before he came in, I think is the deputy, some of the contentious issues maybe that have not been answered, is the deputy president one of the main problems that is causing non-performance in KK government or in Kenya Kwanza government? That is one of the questions. So that by the time the legislators are doing what they have to do in whatever motion that is coming to them today or any other day, that they can be able to convince, because there has to be a reconciliation of ground and also what the legislators are saying. Whatever the ground is saying might not matter. However, we know very well that it mattered when it came to it in June 2024, and some of the something actually the ground influenced something we've never seen in this country. Finance Bill 2024. So the legislators here like reconciling the ground. It's them who are on the ground. Some of us are just helping with technical expertise. So the other thing that you've asked is it that because Raila Odinga is already on board. Raila Odinga already has played his part. And in the in terms of pursuit of his AUC ambition, I think it's here with us and he should go through. The reason why whatever is going on is because there is no threat. Well, and when there is no competition, then it is easy to do away with people.
Quickly,
but I
yes.
think in terms of there should be a demonstration, there should be a reconciliation between whatever is happening on the top and the ground. Otherwise, without those a reconciliation, I want to remind the legislators here, the people are already not happy because of the projects that are, or things that were supposed to be done that have not been done, especially because just recently, I remind you again that we reviewed the performance of the Kenya Kwanza government for the last 2 years.
And they performed very well.
Yeah.
So, wait,
30 seconds.
Yes, exactly. You know, Joel, you have also put me in a quagmire that Gachagua is. Because Gachagua is, as from Honorable, is saying that Gachagua is so much discussing about central province issues. We had 8 provinces. So he had gone back to his village. For me now, Joel, you have brought me to one country. Yet I also represent 8 countries. It's just like taking me now to discuss the issues of Kenya, yet there is also Burundi, there is Somalia, there is Republic of Congo, there is Republic of South Sudan, there is Uganda, there is Tanzania.
Allow me to take a break at this juncture. When we come back, we'll be focusing on the state of the economy, how we have been performing in terms of our revenue collection, and also the budget 2024-2025. We'll be back with that conversation. Stay tuned.